that as well in his deck.
Well, absolutely. Looks like Forbes went ahead and rolled a 7, so we'll find out who goes first. We missed that first dice roll there.
Yeah,
but
right in the transition it was for us. Okay, it looks like Forbes will be going first, and he's starting off with Lordly Load, I believe.
Oh, wow. So this means he not only gets to search out a Primite card, and I would imagine he might grab the Primite Drill Beam, which is really powerful, but he can also declare a name of a monster if he controls no cards and special summon that card from his deck. And you know, the greatest normal monster of all with these Sue ships, that is going to be, of course, the Gunkan Sue ship Shari. So about to get a really nice, like, Ryzeal combination going on here, right?
Yeah, basically the Primite cards are a really powerful, robust engine in case you're playing any normal monsters in your deck, or they can incentivize you to play normal monsters. But there we see him choosing to get Primite Roar, I believe that one is?
That is Primite Roar. And so what's interesting about Primite Roar has that same effect to be able to special summon out that monster. You're going to have to pay 2,000 life points, but different than the Primite Lordly Load, it doesn't have any restrictions for what you do afterwards. Lordly Load is good for emergencies, but Primite Roar is certainly a much stronger way to start. Kind of like a better version of the Unexpected Die card, another card that Sue Ship fans will know. But Primite Roar also has an effect in the graveyard that could come up in this duel too, so you get a little bit of interruption as well. So it'll be really interesting to see. But I assume he's activating it now. And now it's time.
Yeah, I know we were mentioning, like, oh, hey, maybe going for safety picks is probably the best thing to go for this format, but obviously Forbes is like, no, don't you understand this new rank 4 package and all these really powerful normal monster cards that came out in Rage of the Abyss? That's what unlocks my safety pick of Sue ships. And he's like, let's make it work.
The last ingredient for his new recipe.
So there we see Shari. I think I saw Ash Blossom in Forbes' hand as well, which is a nice point of interaction on top of whatever his board is. And there we see Ice Ryzeal, probably the best normal summon in the Ryzeal package. Going to be letting him special summon a monster directly from his deck on normal summon.
So there we go. Now we've got 3 level 4s there on the field. And of course, you know that your Ryzeal monsters can lock you into rank 4s, but again, that's fine if you're using Sue ships. You want that.
There we specialed Sword Ryzeal off of Ice. We're now going to be searching for X Ryzeal, adding it to the hand. And now, honestly, at this point for Forbes' deck, I think the world is his oyster. You know, Sam's just being like, you know what, I'm going to let you cook. That's what you're here to do. There we see 3 level 4 monsters being overlaid into... That's Duo Drive.
It is Duo
Drive.
Oh, but here comes the Infinite Impermanence to stop it. So locking that Duo Drive basically to be doing nothing there.
But now we go X Ryzeal, sending Aggregator. Unfortunately, I believe Samuel... Did he change to the effect of Duo Drive or just do it on the summon? Because if he did it on the summon, that means Forbes could, in theory, make another one and actually use the effect, because he actually hasn't used any of the effects yet.
You're absolutely right. He did not wait for any activations, at least that we could hear back here on the stage. But it hasn't slowed down our Sue Ship Seth as he continues his play. Again, you might see Myriologic Aggregator there, a very popular card right now because of so many different ways to get into the graveyard and be able to negate the effects of your opponent card. We saw Ultimate Slayer earlier in the last featured match, and we're getting to see using this to put it under the detonator, which means if detonator later uses its effect, detaching material to destroy a card, it could also detach that Myriologic Aggregator to negate an additional card. So really strong start here.
And here we're seeing just the power of the Ryzeal package. Even though his strongest card in Duo Drive got stopped by an Infirm, Forbes is still playing, still summon Detonator, and now we're going to end our turn with Lordly Load, summoning Shari, and then ending our turn.
All right, well, it's a battle of the cuisines here. Now it's time for Samuel to cook, and let's see what he's got. Definitely caught a Nibiru, the Primal Being, in the hand there. Might have been what he just drew for turn here.
Yeah, so the interactions that Sam needs to play through right here are the potential of 3 pops as well as a negate from the Aggregator, and that's all he knows about. We, as the people watching at home, know that Forbes might also have access to an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring in hand. Snake Eye Azamina, not, deck most known for playing through things, but actually, I think he'll have plenty of options here.
Oh, especially with that Arvada, though. But we're going to use the Primite Roar. Again, banish it. And if there's a monster weaker than a normal monster you control, banish that.
And Sue Ship Shari's 2,000 attack, right?
Yeah, it is. So it's big enough to get rid of most stuff, and an Ash Blossom Joyous Spring. Now, we are countering this with the Crossout Designator. So again, Samuel said, hey, you got to cook. Let me cook too. So we'll banish an Ash Blossom to get things moving from there. But just such great play so far.
Yeah, but can't we just after... No, Detonator chains when a card is activated. So I was like, can we not just pop the card that's summoned off 1-for-1? No, we cannot.
Cannot. So just waiting to see. But now it's activating it. So yeah, there's the Detonator.
Yep, now we chain to pop. We do not get rid of Aggregator. We want to maybe hold on to that negate as long as possible.
Probably going to use that for something stronger on the field that lasts for a while. It is a little bit difficult to time. That's why it's certainly not like a most impossible card to get through, but the search still did happen, so we are getting that Snake Eyes Poplar, and Poplar going to peek in the kitchen here and see what's for dinner.
Yeah, because you have to negate on a separate chain. You can't just negate when it's sent to the graveyard.
Oh, it'd be way too good. It's a great card, but it can't be too good.
We got to, balance these interactions a little bit.
We'll go Chainlink 1, Onyx, Chainlink 2, Poplar.
Whoa, we still have Onyx in hand. That's a really solid extender for this board state.
Onyx.
Well, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen, but I think our sous chef chef may be able to get it going as Forbes considers his options, thinking maybe detonating here. No, decides not to.
We could have maybe in theory done it to negate the Sanctuary, but that feels like a very low effort play. We can always just negate whatever's ultimately summoned off this original Sinful Spoils that we also knew was in hand.
Yeah.
Gonna take a look at Ponix here. I mean, destroying it, maybe not the best idea for a Ponix, but if you're clearing those field monsters out early, maybe you can slow down the combos, and that would certainly be helpful. But what's important here, too, though, is that we may be seeing a Snake Eye Oak here. So, interestingly enough, that would be on a new chain. And there's the Oak.
We'll go with Chainlink 1, Oak, targeting Ash.
And there's the Aggregator, stopping the Oak dead in its tracks.
Forbes is doing a great job of just making sure that he keeps Samuel off of the Snake Eye engine of his deck, because that's going to be what allows him to play through the board that Forbes was able to create on his first turn.
I love how comfortable both duelists are up here on stage. Again, there's some duelists who are concerned about the nerves you might have, but since both of these duelists are effectively playing with some deck they're familiar with, right? It's a little bit of a newer concoction on Forbes' side, but still he's comfortable, so this is just a great duel against two very interesting decks.
I want to be clear, it's new to us. He's like, I've been waiting all year for these cards to come out.
My latest creation, well, looks like he's at least managed to finally get a body on the board as far as Samuel is concerned.
So there we see Garunix destroying all Canix from the deck, going to be allowing him to, I believe, search now.
So even more bounce to the ounce there as we get another Garunix there.
The original Fire King Garunix. And there we see the overlay for the rank 8.
Now, which rank 8 will it be? Ah,
Vampire.
the
Nice. Yeah, because Samuel has kind of been starved right now of resources, and he's hoping that this Vampire gives him more of his engine in his graveyard that he has access to, because the Fire deck is known for being like, I just need more cards. There we see a Kirin, and an Impulse, and a Droll, as well as a Fuelos. That's a lot of non-engine, not what he was hoping for, I would imagine, from these cards going to deck.
Certainly could be scary if he accidentally put a Primite Roar from Forbes' deck into his graveyard, but doesn't look like he hit any of those. Just some sous ship cards, of course, as well as the Infinite Impermanence in the Nibiru there. So, see where we go next with this. Is that going to be a pass turn?
So I believe all of Forbes' monsters are increased by 300 because of Duo Drive's effect.
27, 21.
And it's also decreasing the attack of the opponent's monsters as well.
That's right. It's kind of like a mini Chen Ying in that way.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is. Really like a versatile set of cards. We've seen duelists do a lot of different things with them, so I'm looking forward to the course of the day as we get to see more mashups. Right? It's crossover breakers for a reason. You can combine these together to make some great decks.
All right, so we're going to swing Kirin just to have it destroy itself and then use the effect, I imagine, on destruction. Seems like a really fun way to have Forbes proc your own effects for you.
Absolutely. Forbes taking a moment to write down the order there on the cheat sheet. Teasing. Of course, he's just keeping track of life points, but you got to make those cooking jokes when you have a literal chef on stage.
He's like, let me just make sure I factor in your tip for you. Gratuities included beforehand.
Well, the duel's not over yet. We'll see who actually has to pay the bill.
This is giving
Yeah, just explaining, making sure we have a full understanding of the board's effects before we move on. Very good idea from Samuel here before he just keeps digging into his graveyard.
Communication's really important in this game for sure. Always take that time to just let people know what it is you're doing and what it is that's about to happen.
All right, now we're in main phase 2 after summoning High King Garunix and destroying the Duo Drive. Let's see what Sam is thinking here. It's going to be hard to deal with this Detonator because I believe on the next turn, Detonator will be able to reattach cards from the graveyard and just have more ways to interact. But there we see.
Wow.
The Hida.
Yeah, the Hida is great this format. Of course, Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, but there's also a bunch of sous ship monsters, which are often fire. So let's see what we end up taking. We're going to take the Ash Blossom.
There's even some Ryzeal cards that are fire as well. Just like a really solid card for helping you link climb. This might be a Selene Gambit. Could be useful here. Oh, but of course, Promethean Princess.
Stower of Flames. Let's see what she's going to grab here. A lot of different options, of course, in the Snake Eye Fire King strategy.
Notably, we have not resolved any of our Snake Eyes effects to send and summon Flambird Dragon from the deck, so we can still do that with Oak or Ash.
And with the extra card in the field there with the Fire King Sanctuary, you definitely could get a little bit more mileage there, and exactly what's going to happen here.
Getting rid of the Sanctuary, though, could be a bit of a risk because now Forbes has access to getting rid of that Fire King Island to pop the entire board.
Well, he's not going to worry about it yet. With that empty detonator, he goes ahead and pushes it to the back with the Snake Eyes Flambird Dragon and creates a new Link monster, our Amphibious Swarm Ship Amblo Whale.
There's more and more points of interaction. This deck has such a robust engine. It's insane.
Now he's got to pick what he's going to do next. I don't think we're going to see the end of the duel in this turn, so you need to have a little bit of insurance there. Ponic certainly great to have on the field, but this may just be used for another Link monster of some kind.
And it should be noted that Forms has no cards in hand, but I believe he will have access to Lordly Lode's effect as something for him to search deeper through his deck for other Primite cards.
He would have to have no cards on the field for him to be able to special summon another Suship Shari, and it does come with that additional restriction that you can't use certain types of effects. So certainly a way to get back into the game, but could be difficult. And speaking of which, IP Masquerena just showing up, so it's going to be a little more difficult than we thought for him to get through. Oh, and we're drawn. Okay, just going to pass turn after that main phase too.
Yep, just double-checking Fire King Island, seeing how he can interact with that maybe to try to break the board.
Taking a look here at the graveyard. Certainly some options, but depending on what he has... Oh, we're going to use the Primite Drill Beam. When you control a normal monster, you can banish a card on the field.
That is actually crazy, and
it's
that
a
gets rid of
quick
both.
play.
I'll go...
I believe we'll be able to resolve Ambo Whale's effect, though, because it is being destroyed by the effect of Fire King Island.
That is right.
Targeting IP. Killing 2 Runic.
Does Forbes have any access to level 4 monsters for him to get back into his extra deck?
I don't know, other than that one Gunkansu Ship Shari on the field, because again, you can't bring out another with the Primite Lordly Lode unless you control no monsters. So it's kind of, well, he's at the end of that play.
But there's High King Garunix destroying Kieran from the deck, going to be allowing him to do more shenanigans with that, bringing back a monster from the graveyard.
What's happened to Runic right now? It's at 39.
So 3,900 attack on that Garunix there.
That is notably, too, I believe, a second copy of... No, that's the first copy of Garunix. He recycled it with Amber Whale. I was like, where did that come from?
Yeah. And he got rid of the Primite Lordly Lode. Going to make things a little bit more difficult here since you don't even have that emergency backup normal monster. But
speaking of
opponent
backups,
yeah, 2 from the extra deck means you're going to go ahead and get Typhon.
But then we're going to chain Masquerena, it looks like.
A lot of different options you could use, but just an SP Little Knight to banish it before it even gets anything done.
And here we see just the resilience of the Fire King Snake Eye deck, being able to play through what looked like a lot of interaction from Forbes' side. Sam was able to get there and establish board presence once again for himself. Let's see if he can use it to steal the game here and move us on to game 2.
Certainly a strong Drill Beam, though, and a reminder, because Primite is likely going to be good in the future, you can reuse Drill Beam if you control Primite monsters. You just set it right back to the field so you can use it again. So I think we have a lot of Primite in our future. Yeah,
the Primite engine seems like a really good way just to kind of loop resources in pretty much any kind of strategy that can warrant playing normal monsters. Seems really useful.
That's some good stuff. Looking forward to see what concoctions our other duelists come up with. But speaking of that, looks like we're taking a look here into the graveyard. Samuel thinking, okay, maybe there's not too much for me to worry about here. As he thinks about that last card, take a look at the extra deck.
Be like, is there a way I can get the damage I need? I just need 6,000. Right now, I think he has 55. Like, he's 500 short, probably.
It's true. It's a little difficult to survive a long grind game, right? Ryzeal certainly, well, it's not known for it, right, since this is the first tournament, but probably will eventually be known for its strong grind game. But unfortunately, if you're playing that Primite Roar, you are losing 2,000 life points right off the top just to get your combo started.
And life points matter up until the last one. That is when it's most important to protect them. There we see Volcanics, which I believe might be just enough attack points. She has like, what, 800 or 1,000 attack points?
Believe so. So between the 3,900, the 1,600, and the little bit from Volcanics, that may be all she wrote.
If they're just doing the math, I guess, right now. Keeping the tab of their restaurant, making sure it's nice and in order here. Yep. Brings us to 36, and then we go... Oh, wait, is... Does Garunix's attack go back to normal at the end of the turn?
I believe it may, but it looks like you get 800 additional attack points there. A little clap there from the sous chef, just holding on.
He's like, we live.
We're alive, just with the rhythm there. So last card, let's see what it is.
But SP Little Knight, I think, will be a really
Does he want to reveal it? He is.
It's the sous It's the Shari, the third Shari. Are the sidings going to work? I've always said, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game about 2 and 3. Game 2 and 3, I think, are always more important than Game 1 because, you know, playing with your deck as you thought it was going to be is fine, but once you know what your opponent's playing and you can actually tailor your strategy, that's where the real duelists shine.
Well, it's time for the rubber to hit the road here. We're going to start with Painful Decision. No, the poor Ojamas. If you don't know what it does, you get to pick 2 normal monsters, 1 to the grave and 1 to the hand, which is sad because if you look at the art, literally Ojama Yellow is like, do I save Ojama Black or do I save Ojama Green? I don't know what to do.
Oh, both my brothers, they're in trouble. But obviously this is going to be allowing him to access his sous ship, Shari. Going to be sending 1 to the grave, and then I think just adding another 1 to your hand. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Because you can add based on name, right? Or is it considered a normal monster in the deck?
Let's take a quick look at there. Luckily, we got our wonderful Yu-Gi-Oh! Judge staff up there to make sure everything is fair, but let's see whose cuisine is going on here.
That's Shari Red, right?
That is Shari Red, that is right. And it is Gunkan Sous Ship Shari in the hand, deck, graveyard, or on the field.
Wow.
So a version of this is like if you sent Harpy Lady to the graveyard and you added like a Cyber Harpy Lady or a Harpy Lady 2 or something like that. So really cool that its name changes in the deck just because of stuff like this.
Very awesome. Yeah, lets you have access to it by a Painful Decision. And there we see Roar. We saw that being very useful last game.
So he is going to go down 2,000 life points, but this is going to let him special summon that Gunkan Sous Ship Shari. So between the Shari and the Shari Red, man, it is time to cook.
That's an automatic rank 4 if he needs one.
And what's cool, even though Ryzeal Detonator requires Ryzeal monsters, Ryzeal Duo Drive doesn't.
Does not.
It's insane. That means that he could use these 2 Gunkan monsters that already want to make rank 4s. Like, that's what the deck is built to do. And there we go.
And now we see Ice Ryzeal once again, the ideal normal summon for this deck. Going to be special summoning out from the deck. Probably going to be Sword Ryzeal, letting him search X and just get the full combo from there.
And there's the sword.
Yeah, we noticed that Samuel is like, I'm not interacting. My only point of interaction for this engine is going to be the Duo Drive. That is the card you have to stop if you are able to. Stopping the normal monsters, they almost always can still get to Duo Drive.
Certainly, if you only have 1 card you can stop, Duo Drive is an important one because it gets 2 cards with different names, and whether you already have the field spell, cool, just go ahead and grab the trap card or vice versa. So just a very flexible card that you can't let your opponent resolve if you want to win that duel.
That is true. In Game 1, we did see Forbes access the Ryzeal monsters, but he never accessed the powerful Ryzeal spells like Plug-in and Cross. If he has access to those this game, it could be totally different.
It seems like he may.
Duo Drive, effect to attach on summon, and there we see Ghost, Ogre, and Snow Rabbit, not playing around the potential of that in your hand. I don't think you have to declare that effect on summon, or do you?
No, I do not think you do. So again, that's just a good way, but again, not able to detach any material, so not able to grab any new cards.
So here we special X from the hand by sending Aggregator from the extra deck to the graveyard.
All right, taking a look at that graveyard, thinking to himself, the Aggregator going to the graveyard is definitely going to be a vibe that we see throughout the weekend here. But now he's still got 2 level 4 monsters, so depending on what he wants to do here, he could try again.
Do we have? I think Forbes has Plug-in in hand, and he's thinking to himself, I can plug in, bring back Duo Drive, and then attach to it. But I don't think he'll be able to search because he activated one of the effects, and I believe that means he can't activate the other one.
That is right. You can only use each of the following effects of Ryzeal Duo Drive once per turn. So if you tried, you can't again.
Yeah. That's probably like an argument then to like when you summon Duo Drive not using the Versed effect, so that way you can play around as much as possible, like a Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit for people at home. Could be a thing to keep in mind. Because Ghost Ogre is another card that has a lot of premiums coming up in this format because there's so many powerful field continuous spells or just effects that are just annoying once they stay around.
Oh, yeah, and Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit was already very good in this format considering it is Tenpai Dragon insurance, right? That Saga summoning just goes right to the graveyard. But there's a lot of other things that duelists could do right now, so I'm also interested to see how Tenpai is hanging out there in the Swiss rounds.
All right, so here we go. We got... wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Detonator is very strong there. 2 materials, and of course also has the Myriologic Aggregator underneath it. And again, if you don't know why Detonator is so wild, we haven't really gotten to see it shred its stuff, but every time your opponent is activating card effects. You can go ahead and chain, detachment chill, destroy something, and that is not once per chain, and that is not even once per turn.
And by the way, I did get a little sneaky knowledge check. Forbes does have plug-in face down, which means if Samuel has a way to out this detonator, he can just bring it back and attach to it and then use it again.
Well, you got to make a decision here. That Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring weighing heavy in Forbes' hand.
Oh my god.
Doesn't necessarily want to walk into a triple tactics talon or triple tactics thrust, so he is going to let his opponent do that. I guess to a degree with Ryzeal Detonator, you just wait for your opponent to use Snake Eye effects and clear their board so they don't have any bodies to use the most powerful Snake Eye searching effects, right?
1000% agree. Detonator is better when your opponent is trying to play. It's not good when your opponent is like stopped from playing. And there we see the Ash on the Poplar stopping that search of original Sinful Spoils. Really big.
Certainly
like
just
that.
a single body on the field. There was a version of this where you would go into Link Karibo, but unfortunately the Forbidden Unlimited list has another idea there. So thinking about those cards, hasn't normal summoned yet, so a couple of choices, but we're going with the Fire King Avatar Arvata, the
Very nice.
Monster Negate.
Are we going to attempt to use the effect to destroy from hand? Looks like we're using... No, I think we're using Kieran's effect.
So we are going to detach and try. So not going for the aggregator. I guess just taking a quick look. It is too good to be true, but again, it isn't. So you can go ahead and detach, and if something else happens, you can technically detach again. So if Fire King Arvata tries to stop something, the Ryzeal monster can actually just throw another destruction into the mix.
That's right.
Samuel, not necessarily stunned, but considering his options, definitely has to decide whether or not he wants to use his Arvata. Maybe a card from the hand instead.
Maybe he's debating like a way to interact with the detonator, but if he goes for anything that would destroy the detonator can protect itself. I'm not sure how this chain will resolve, but I think we'll be able to resolve Kieran on a separate chain afterwards.
Should. So we got a little bit of info from the judges there, but we are going to go ahead.
We're destroying Flamber's Dragon from the hand. Arvata now gets popped because of Detonator's effect, and now Kieran's effect won't resolve, right? Because it wasn't destroyed.
That is right.
Battle phase.
Is the face down anything to worry about? We said it was the Ryzeal hull, but it looks like no, we're just going to go ahead and take that battle.
Yep, we saw this in game one. Samuel wants to have Forbes' help for destroying his own monsters.
6, right? Yeah, only 6. Kieran effect? Then I'll pop the detonator.
Detonator will protect itself on the attempt to destroy.
Now that one is once per turn. At least they slowed things down for it. It would be an immortal card otherwise with its many Exceeds materials. But now it just has one additional destruction, and of course also gets the negation as well.
Then I'll if it activates, can I about it to do?
So taking a little opportunity to ask your judge questions here again. You can always ask the judge if you're unsure. Just raise your hand. That's exactly what they're here for. No need to feel embarrassed. You're not slowing the tournament down. You just want to have a fair and fun experience here. And again, so do your judges.
Yeah, the qualification is like, can I negate it with Arvata? And I think the answer was no. All right, here we see a Link. Not having access to the really powerful Snake Eye cards like Ash and Oak are going to be super big for Forbes' side here because I don't know how much deeper Samuel can go into.
Well, speaking of access to cards, looks like Samuel's going to go ahead and grab a Fire from Forbes here. Maybe just the safe Ash Blossom. Don't want to resend anything to the graveyard here. Yep. Looks like we're just taking the Ash Blossom.
And then on activation, we're going to use Detonator to probably destroy the Hida, keep him off that Link 3. We saw how powerful Promethean Princess was last game.
And as you know, since there is nothing that Hida points to, it cannot special summon anything.
That's right. Now we're pseudo-negating with Detonator as well. Was there something fishy about the grabbing of Ponix there?
Yeah, you're right.
Looks like the Ponix will not go to the field. It's just going to go to the hand instead. Judges just taking a quick breather to explain things.
And we've already normal summoned. We're going to see a set and a pass. Now we know the card in hand. All right, let's see what Forbes can do here. He draws for turn. I think is that another Suship?
It is. What a perfect hand there. Wow. Reveal. It's Suship time.
Nice.
So what's better than one Suship? Of course, having that one. And again, it is level 5, I should say. So that does make it sometimes awkward there with your Gunkan Suships.
Yeah,
right?
because
especially
your
with the right
Ryzeals.
forward attack, exactly.
Well, right now he's not locked into anything, so as long as you do your Suship shenanigans first before you do any of your Ryzeal effects, you should be fine.
So again, Uni can go ahead and reveal another Gunkan card, which we saw, special summon it out. Now, it is going to give effects based on what you did, so because they did any other reveal there, the only thing that's going to happen is you place the revealed card on the bottom of the deck.
Wow.
All right.
There we see Shari coming out. No, but the card he revealed was Shari Red, which is considered Shari in the hand.
Oh, that's right, of course, because it has the name, so it does let it get there. It's so wild that its name changes wherever it is. There's very few cards that do that.
Yeah, we have 6 copies of Shari in this deck.
Yeah.
Well, bottoms up for sure on that one as we pour beautiful, beautiful red wine over this rice.
And remember, we still have plug-in FaceTime, which means at any point we can attach a card from our deck to this Ryzeal detonator and still have access to a pop that our opponent doesn't know about. All right, so we're revealing with red.
I can also all one effect, special another Suship from my deck, and then immediately overlay.
Sure.
And so even more Gungans here.
Immediately overlay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's just explaining kind of how the resolution timing works. Like, once I reveal, I also summon at the same time. It's all one thing.
It's such a great vibe, too. You know, I don't know how many duelists out there who have actually taken the time to read the flavor text of Gunkan Suship Shari, but it literally is a review, and the review gives it 4 stars, which are literally on the card, you know, and it's like only 2,000 of these were made, and its attack is 2,000. It's just really cool to see, you know, normal monsters be very competitive, and again, like we were talking about the Primites, I think we're going to see a lot of normal monsters in the future.
Now, wait, does that mean canonically Suship Uni is better, like flavor?
Yeah,
like,
technically,
it's a
yeah.
better meal than the Shari is.
I mean, I haven't tried it myself, but it is a 5-star review. You're right.
Classic cardboard flavor of sushi. We love it.
Delicious. Do not eat your cards, duelists. We are not telling you to eat your cards.
Is this going to be a rank 5 play? I believe so.
Yeah, he's not locked in yet. And the cheers from the crowd, just seeing it. That is incredible.
The first Suship Exes monster coming out. I believe that is Carrier.
It is. I believe that's going to be the Gunkan Suship Uniclass Super Dreadnought from here. And since it does have Suship Shari on it, that's drawing 1 card.
Beautiful.
So extender upon extender. And then the Uni is also going to give it the ability to attack directly, which is huge in this format because it gives you kind of a backdoor into Divine Arsenal Zeus.
We just drew Ice Ryzeal off of the Carrier class. That was awesome.
Just game-changing what 1 extra card will do in this deck.
And there we see the special of X Ryzeal coming from Forbes' deck. Man, this whole deck is just kind of one giant rank 4 extender deck. Like, I can just keep going and summoning rank 4s.
What I really love is it's also one of those 2 decks in 1 decks where you're like, oh, well, the Suships were working out. I'll just play Ryzeal, or vice versa. We do see the Detonator hit the field there and attaching the Aggregator.
Not a thing you're used to seeing 2 detonators in play, because normally the Ryzeal cross field spells in play, which keeps you from summoning 2 monsters of the same name. But here we're attacking.
Battle, battle, battle.
Yeah.
I think that's his game, yeah, because that's over 8,000 damage, because I believe the Carrier has 2,500 attack. Yeah, there it is. Appreciate you.
But that's over there. This is here, so we're going to go ahead and draw, find out who goes first, and I imagine it's going to be Samuel.
Ooh, is that D-Barrier? No, that's Ponix. I was like, oh, did we just draw the side deck card?
Ooh, some interesting stuff there. Going to start with the bonfire, but no response.
I think I got a little whiff of Forbes' hand. I see a lot of Suships, not a lot of non-engine. This could be the thing we're talking about.
I think a single copy of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, maybe using this here.
Yep, you're right.
Because that'll slow things down for sure.
Letting OSS come down is bad. You don't want to see that card come down.
The original Simple Spoils is very powerful.
There we see Ponix, going to get Sanctuary, going to get Island, going to Destroy, going to Search. Standard combo. We love to see it.
It's definitely still a good deck. This is one of the strongest structure decks I think I have ever seen because it's still resilient this many tournament formats later.
I mean, with the release of Volcanics and Rage of the Abyss, I actually think it's the strongest it's ever been. All the Master Duel players out there know how crazy it is, but now the TCG is finally experiencing it, and it's awesome.
And the island is good, so we're going to go and destroy Ponix to get the next Fire King card.
There we see Perulia still in Sam's deck. I think we saw him play Crossout in game 1, so it's probably just a Crossout target for him, considering he knew he was going first.
Certainly a Perulia would be pretty good here. We have done a lot of summons from the hand. That would have been 2 card draws already.
Oh, yeah. There you see High King Garunix, bringing out Sacred King Garunix.
Right, so considering his options, we are probably bringing the Zombie Vampire out for a return Reprisal. And there it is.
Yeah, the Fire King rank 8's better when you can summon it during your opponent's turn, using the effect of Sanctuary probably. So just going for Zombie Vampire to get more resources in his graveyard seems really strong.
Let's see. Uh-oh, Primite cards go to the graveyard.
OSS, Snake Eyes, Diabellstar.
Going to be difficult for both players to really get the most they can out of this, but I would imagine either the Diabellstar, yep.
Yeah, you got to summon Diabellstar, right? But now, and then... Oh, dang it. For a second, I thought Diabellstar was Ignition. She is not. If she was Ignition, that means you can wait, use the effect of OSS, put it back in the deck, and then bring it out. But we're just going to be sending the Azamina one.
Okay, so it's Deception of the Simple Spoils here, sending Poplar to the graveyard, likely to bring out the Hallowed Azamina from the deck.
Yep.
And yep.
Letting us access the really powerful Azamina cards in the extra deck, getting extra forms of interaction against the opponent. Is it going to be... That's Sylvia?
Certainly a great way to keep the combos going there. And since we in the audience know exactly what's in Forbes' hand, we know there's not really many points of interaction, right? He used that one Ash Blossom of Joyous Spring, which was the right time to do it for sure, but just going to have a hard time slowing things down when you don't have anything to slow down.
Something we did learn, too, between Game 1 and 2 is that Forbes is only playing one copy of Sword Ryzeal in his deck, as he didn't search for anything else when he summoned Ice Ryzeal, which means that Sword Ryzeal being in the graveyard is really bad for him if he draws any of his Ryzeal combo. Keeps him off of summoning 2 Xyz monsters.
So considering Samuel just not sure where he's going next here, but it looks like a Link summon using the Zombie Vampire and his Fire King. So we're going to go ahead and bring out...
SP target your sword.
SP target sword. That card's really gone now.
It's almost like he could hear you from here. Trust us, audience, he can't. But it is a really good target there for sure. And that means that whatever it is that Forbes draws next is going to be the difference between a well-cooked meal and maybe something that's a little overdone.
I imagine Forbes is hoping that there's no face-down dimensional barriers in his future.
That would be very difficult to get through, especially when Xyz are what you are all about.
So right now, I believe we have a negate. All right, here we go. We're doing the Suship stuff.
So reveal, of course, the special summon. You get to go ahead and grab something from the deck.
Oh, yeah.
It's all in one effect, so you're not going to chain anything.
Yep, summon red, summon from deck. Going to be getting Uni. And then we're going to be ranking up.
Summon and then immediately overlay.
Immediately overlay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's all one effect to immediately summon.
Better, but worse markup.
Yeah.
All right.
Uni effect on summon.
The crowd cheers again.
Draw a card.
And then you can attack directly.
We could chain SP here.
First hand. Have a normal summon.
That is a lot. You may want to save the SP Little Knight, but Samuel's going to have to make his decision here. Oh, we're doing it. Banishing.
Just activate, right?
Yeah.
Negate.
Ooh,
he's got it.
There's the effect of the gate. Does not send for cost. There we see chain imperm.
Wow. So the Infinite Permanence, of course, going to go ahead and negate that. So we will banish our monsters. We'll put a couple of ingredients in the graveyard there.
I think he's asking if his monsters can still attack directly for the rest of the turn. I don't know if it's a lingering effect. Oh, he improved
the effect
it,
was
right.
negated, so yeah, that would be an issue. Oh, now he controls no monsters. The perfect time for Primite Lordly Load, and he's probably going to grab the Drill Beam as well in order to press through any effects he has to.
I mean, Forbes is like really happy right now. He used one card to play through 2.
Drill Beam is such a powerful card, and while it doesn't look like Forbes is running any of the Primite monsters again, I know I said it earlier, but it can be recycled later if you're playing Primite in its fullest form, so that's crazy.
This might be banishing the Sylvia, huh? No, it's going to banish Fire King Island and get rid of the Sylvia anyway.
It can, yeah.
It's the best way to do it.
2 cards in one swing. Samuel, maybe not believing his eyes, but yeah.
Boom, there it is.
Negate
Targeting Fire King
and
Island.
banish. Okay, going to go ahead and stop that then.
Yeah, still wants to have access to his Fire King Island. Makes sense.
He still got rid of the monster one way or the other.
I can't see, right?
That's Shirauchi? I forget how you say it.
It's going to be Shirao.
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 Little difficult there for sure. All of these, of course, Japanese cuisine names, so
From your hand, you can
trying our best.
Yep. Okay.
But he is going to go and summon that, so he does get another summon from hand.
Summon Shari from hand. And this can get us into our Ryzeal engine, guys.
This is happening. I think it's duo drive time.
That would be crazy. But now we don't have Sword in the graveyard to get value off a plug-in, so maybe it's just Detonator time?
Well, Detonator will require Ryzeal monsters.
You're right, you're right.
So you got at least duo drive. Yep, so we're going to get duo drive. Looks like we're going to attempt to attach those, detach those two materials.
The bubble one attached, I can stuff summon it.
Start to summon another Shirao.
Dual drive effect.
Okay, we did not activate the effect on summon. We're just going to be searching here.
So this is his first duo drive that he's able to resolve. So I would imagine you're at least going to try to grab both the field spell and plug in here, but he may need more monsters. Let's see which direction he goes.
Yeah, so we're going to get Ice Ryzeal. We still haven't normal summoned, y'all, which means we have the full power of Ice Ryzeal coming out, but because we lost our sword, that means we won't have the full wombo combo that it comes with. But we will have more than enough to summon Detonator, and there's Plug-in. That card is super crazy. It's a really fun combo for your opponent's turn, but also for your own turn for further extension.
Oh, I cannot do that. That's correct.
Did we normal summon? Oh, that's right. We normal summoned Shirao. I forgot. Good thing Samuel is better than I am.
That's why they're up on the stage, and we're down here in the cheap seats. But Master Duelist, jokes aside, it looks like he is going to go ahead and grab those two cards. Still really powerful.
Does it target?
No.
Yeah, Lordly Load.
Deck or graveyard?
Now, I think it's actually only the Primite
So you're declaring the name.
Roar that you have to control no monsters. It's absolutely true. You could just declare a monster name when you have Primite Lordly Load. So, true that you get a little bit better options when you have access to the Primite Roar, but you do have just infinite spamming out those normal monsters, including the Gunkatsu Shipshari, if you have Lordly Load. Now, it does slow you down. It's got that additional restriction, of course, though, that you can't activate the effects of special summon monsters for the rest of the turn on the field.
I had it committed.
We got Dugaris coming out. This is a really powerful rank 4 extender that exists in a lot of packages like this, letting you draw cards, revive.
1200?
Sure.
1200 direct, 25 direct. I don't know if we're going to go for the effect to revive. We might go for the effect to draw 2 and then discard 1. That could get us into X Ryzeal, which would allow us to activate more of our Ryzeal effects.
What's the life?
I recorded 43.
Okay.
Is that correct?
I don't know if the clock on them is correct, but I believe this could have been time in the round for them. I could be wrong about that.
They do have a separate clock, and it is 0 right now. Wow,
There it is.
it's time on the round.
There we see Typhon coming out targeting Dugaris. I don't know if we can summon that on Dugaris because it's not the monster with the most attack points. Yeah, it has to go on top of Duo Drive.
And go ahead.
Send pass. All right, here it is.
Stand by. Main. On fire.
All right, so Bonfire is going to be activated there.
Heck of a way to start. We saw Forbes there getting a little flustered towards the end of his turn. You know, he made the mistake with Ice Ryzeal. It kind of threw him off for what the rest of his plan was going to be. But still, this is a very impressive board from Forbes, given how much that Sam was able to do on his first turn.
Well, certainly he is trying his best there to speed things up.
Whoa, we didn't resolve it.
Oh.
Too late.
Is it too late?
Yeah, we already did it. Actually, we didn't resolve it.
Too late.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, so they forgot to summon back the SP. I believe it's now
Oh, an
state-based.
accepted game state. They did
Yep.
forget the SP Little Knight there.
Activate hollow.
It is on both players to do that. They might also get a warning, too, for the game, but it happens all the
It
time.
is important.
There we see Wanted. Can you choose not to use SP, though? Like, doesn't it have to come back? But I guess it's accepted, so
It does have to come back, but our judges are just going to talk them through here.
about the best way to resolve this.
Looks like the live stream counter on the stream is incorrect. It actually is a couple minutes left on the clock here.
Oh, perfect.
So just like I said, we got separate stuff.
And luckily for us, the judges and the players already knew this. The people that needed to keep track of the game, they're already good.
So it looks like we did end up getting a slow play warning there. Again, it's nice to be comfortable up here on the duels. Best seat in the house, right? Sitting up in that chair, but it is still an official duel from this tournament, so you have to keep up a reasonable pace of play.
Here we see Fire King destroying Oak. Going to be getting Volcanics.
Still a crazy duel there. I'm definitely here for it.
That turn from Forbes was insane. All those Suship extenders.
And Dugaris on top of that, like
Very
just
exciting.
go and go and go.
Kieran effect.
There we see Garunix sending Kieran, destroying it, using Kieran's effect. Going to be
Off of the Typhon. Yeah.
Typhon gets destroyed because Kieran is not 3,000 or more attack and can activate its effects fully.
Well, we're getting down to the wire here. That is the correct time now, so there's only a minute 17 on the clock left.
Okay, this could be a grind now. This could be coming down to the wire here. Here we have Diabellstar coming down, sending Volcanics for cost. Going to be searching for Wanted, because I don't believe we added OSS back into the deck, even though I do think it's in our graveyard.
They can't do much with it now, so battle phase it is. Dugara stands alone.
I believe the Garunix got the boost from destroying Kieran, so it should be around 38 right now.
So I'm at
13,
67?
right?
Yeah, so I should be at 67.
7. Attack for 500.
On declaration. Plug in.
Yep, plug-in effect going to be summoning Duo Drive from the graveyard, then attaching any card from your deck to it. Plus, you can also use the effect of, I believe, Duo Drive to attach again. But this Garunix, though, might be strong enough to attack over it anyway.
Certainly considering his options, only just a little bit left there on the
Xyz
clock.
at all, or just Ryzeal?
So Annie Xyz monster.
Yep, we're going to just go ahead and negate that. That
Okay,
makes
yeah, you don't want to stop your direct attacks there. So here comes some life point damage for Forbes.
Plug-in is a pretty good card.
39.
Oh, and he didn't even use Primite Roar this time, so we had the full 8,000.
Yep. So we're going to be going all the way down to, I think, like 2,200 maybe? Could be wrong.
And that seems to be it. I heard the words "that's game," so a
Ah.
hearty handshake.